Hello, Arena. Hey, this is the video that you asked about. Now you can already see more questions than what you were thinking of, but the two pictures that you sent were both of the same one, and so I didn't know what the second question you wanted to ask about, and there were a total of five between the two quizzes that you missed, and maybe some you understood why, but that was your intent is to understand why. So I just brought them all five in. They're pretty quick. Um, to deal with. So this won't take us very long. Uh, the one that you really were after is this second one here. Let me get a pen. This is the one that was in both of your pictures. But as I said, I brought the other four in, and so we can talk about them. So starting up here, this one is a pretty simple one to think about. The numbers are out of order, and that's probably what got you, because as you can see, you chose D, which has dendrites, which is one, the cell body, which is three, and the axon, which is two. So it wanted row C, and just simply the numbers being out of order probably caught you because you did them in the right order. This one, this one, this one, but the numbers are out. So that's probably what caught you there, which is not a great way to phrase or stage a question, but it is what it is. So let me close this so I can move this up. And this, I brought a diagram in, this diagram right here. Brought that in. That'll help us with these two questions right here. The one that you were after, and then another one that kind of backs up our point. After reading this question, man, I wasn't too thrilled with it either way, because one of the correct answers, as you can see right here, it carries information through electrical impulses. No, the electricity stuff stops when it's converted to what the neurotransmitters are, or the chemical impulse. I think why this one has chemical impulse in it. So hopefully they don't have these two reversed when somebody was selecting the right answers. But it may be this part here, the cell body, that they're counting wrong. Because if you look at this diagram, this is a general diagram of how this process works. And you can see the circles are the soma, which is the cell body, and it shows it going to the cell body. And that's how some or a lot of them work. But they can also do this. And this is actually what most people think of is the synapse, the synaptic knob from one one neuron, connecting information or sending information to the dendrites of another, and then it travels down the dendrites to the soma body. But you can see it is going straight to the soma there, but all the rest of these here, are going somewhere else on the neurons, and that's how it happens a lot of times that way. So this one did have the chemical impulse, which we were looking for, but it referenced just the cell body. And it is the gap between neurons. It does make sure information travels in only one direction. You got those two great. And it's good that you didn't mark this one because it is a part of it. It's like the next. Well, anyway, it's the talking about the gap. So anyway, so this isn't a great question, and this is one that I will send to my supervisor to have somebody look at, because at first glance I thought they had these two concepts switched and just selected the wrong one that was right, but they may say that it's wrong because it references just to the cell body, but it certainly isn't this one. So if they think that this is wrong because of the cell body, then it would just be these two would be the only right answers. But I will send that one up. And again, because of that, if you want to, and because of this first one being trickily written, as I like to say in my classes. We can do something with those if you want to. Just let me know. Let me move this up a little bit here. I'll move my picture. So which of these terms are associated with communications between neurons? And this kind of proves our point. It's got the word electrical signals in it. It does have chemical. It does have synapse. But that electrical is what was wrong, or should have been wrong there. But that's what they said was good up here. So that kind of makes me think that somebody just mismarked that one, selected the wrong answers. It does have the chemical signal. I'm going to do that. The chemical signals, which are all the things that neurotransmitters release, and of course the synapse and neurotransmitters. And again, electrical, no. Electrical, no. So that makes me even more nervous on that second question there. So again, if you want to do something different with that, we certainly can. And these last two, back over here to the middle. Let's see, which is an example of Hector's somatic sensory system is in control, and it's that is in control is the important part of that. Both these middle two responses deal with a sensory. You see something or somebody sees something, so they both have that in common. But where this one is that control part or the sensory system is that fact that there's a stimulus, and then there's analysis, and then there's a change, and your brain is making a decision, and therefore we're going to do something different. This one is just the dilation of the eyes. That's like the fight or flight. That's the hypothalamus being involved in that kind of decision to widen those eyes. But there isn't really a decision. It doesn't say that he stops, and say that he goes around it. It's just he sees it, and there's a reaction to it. But that's a hypothalamus type reaction, a feeling or an emotion kind of a deal. So hopefully that explains the fourth one. And the fifth one is pretty easy. What happens here? You touch a hot object, and your body reacts. That's just a motor reflex, and those are pre-programmed. I'm sure you're aware of that. So that takes out the brain. It doesn't go all the way to the brain, and the brain decides, hey, we should take our hand off of that because of it's almost like a safety issue. It needs to be a quicker process than what normally is, and so the brain is taken out. And so it's just the sensory neurons, the inner neurons, which are just located in the lower part of your spine, and that way it just comes right in, and boom, it's right to the and then right into the motor neurons to get your hand off of there. But it's just what makes it different. It's just a reflex, just like the old standard, the doctor tapping the knee with the little rubber mallet and your leg kicks. That isn't a message to your brain. That's just a reflex. And hopefully you're familiar enough with reflex patterns to understand what I'm saying. If not, I can get more information. Or if any of these you would like more information on, just let me know, and we can do more on this. But anyway, hopefully that helps. And again, if you have more questions or need more information, just let me know. I will take care of that. If you'd like to do something with those first two, because they were kind of disadvantagedly written, we can do that as well. Just let me know, and until next time, we'll say goodbye.